share of mastering your story. Okay. And I'm going to share here my story with you guys. And I'm gonna be real. Can I be real? Can we drop be real in the chat box for me, right? Be real, right? I'm gonna be real today here within my story. And the reason why I'm gonna be real is another thing too. I want you guys to be interactive here with me. Okay. Be interactive. Be interactive. I'm very interactive. This call is interactive for everybody. So be interactive in the chat. Be interactive with everything, because here today, guys, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about me, but I'm also gonna get you guys so we all together know a little bit about each other. Okay, because the art of mastering your story is the key with everything. But before I get started, guys, I'm KD, Calvin Duran, but everybody calls me KD. I'm 27 years young. I'm originally Dominican. I was raised in Washington Heights, Providence, Rhode Island. I graduated from college from NHTI, went to the University of New Hampshire. I have a master's in teaching and coaching. I have a criminal justice bachelor's degree and a business bachelor's degree. So I graduated college actually 2018. And when I graduated college right away, I made a decision. And the decision that I made when I came out of college, the decision I made was that, I wanted to be a police officer because my father, left me when I was actually 6-7 years young. And I only had people to look at was my mentors at the time that I had, my teachers, my coaches, right? The people that I had that I looked up to was my mom, my sister. Those were the two beautiful women that I grew up with, and my brothers, of course. So, I wanted to be a police officer because I wanted to give back to kids. I wanted to be that big brother in the neighborhood. But I decided to make a decision. After I went to the police academy, I passed my test. Signing day, I decided to make a decision that I was like, man, look, I'm going to walk away from this. And it was just that gut feeling that I wasn't ready yet, right? And it was the best decision that I made, because later that year, I decided to be part of the 95% of the people in the world and just work. I was giving my time to somebody else. I was wasting time. I was around the wrong crowd. And in 2019, this big bubble just happened in my head, right? This big light bulb happened. I turned the age of 24, and I decided to make the decision that I was like, man, I'm turning 24. Kobe Bryant is my favorite basketball player. If you guys were here before this call, you seen I was playing Kobe, and RIP to the GOAT. And around that time, I was like, man, I'm about to turn 24 years young. I got to make a decision, man. Am I comfortable where I'm at, or I need to make a change? And I decided to make the change. And that year, I decided to invest into myself. I had a little bit of money at the time, and I decided to start my first business. I started my first clothing brand. It was called Flywave Clothing. I started this business due to a mentor of mine. That mentor was Jim Rome. Who here knows Jim Rome? Just some Jim Romes in the chat box, some Jimmies, right? Jimmy, I started listening to him on YouTube. And as the more I was listening to him, I had a professional now job. You know what I'm saying? I was a manager at a staffing agency. I was a translator in Spanish. So now I needed to up my vocabulary. I needed to understand how that business works. So I started to really listen to people that had the things that I want. And at that time, as I started this, right, and I'm going to go into my journey here because I want you guys to understand, right, that I'm just like you when I started this journey. Okay, all this success that you guys see here, this version of myself here today, I want to thank two people here real quick. That one person is God, of course. And I also want to thank my brother Nano and Natalia as well for being my mentors, because going back to the story, before I started this business and this entrepreneurship journey, guys, I started here 2020, August 29, 2020. I made the decision that I was like, man, it's time for me to do more. Due to my business, I started listening to Jimmy, and Jimmy talked about, what is your part-time fortune? My part-time fortune at the time, all I had was Uber and DoorDash, and all I was doing was the manager job. I was thinking small, I was playing small ball, right? And I started my business because that was a passion of mine. Fashion, clothes, designing, drawing, putting things together. That was me, right? I got into my business. That business was a part-time and it turned into a full-time. Due to COVID, things actually shifted in my life and I transformed. Right, I failed in my business due to not having a mentor, not having a coach, due to not knowing much about business. I failed in it about 40 to 30 days. And I'm going to go more into my story here in the next slide so you guys can be able to see how this all happened in this transformation. I actually started here my entrepreneurship journey with I Am Mastery Academy. Later on, 6 months, 7 months later, I became a successful crypto investor, an NFT holder. Now I'm an e-commerce specialist. I'm an entrepreneur advisor. I'm a big trader. And, my goal, guys, with this is, to become the best version of myself, the best leader, and pass down the information down that I'm learning every single day, and to be able to be the inspiration to somebody here on this call, to somebody here in this world. And it's to educate millions of individuals worldwide to get them closer to their higher form of creation, because God is our highest form of creation and he created us, right? And I'm here, guys, to tell you, right, that this journey started just like this, okay? I had an addiction before I started this journey. The addiction was that my fun time was what? Partying, smoking, drinking. You told me to be real here on this call. I'm gonna be real with you, because I'm gonna be honest, before I started this journey, I wasn't this, right? That was my fun. You come to my house, you come to my events. It was a hookah, it was drinks, it was a party. That was KD before, right? But this day right here, as you see in this picture, I got sick and tired of the sick and tired. And I decided to really invest into myself. I made a decision, started my business. Here's my journey. As I started my business, guess what I decided to do, guys? 24 hours later, I didn't know what to do, what direction to go. 40, 60 days in, I was really going through it mentally, spiritually, and financially, guys. Before I started this business, a friend of a friend told me, I can't let you play with your potential, KD. Come see what I'm doing. He introduced me to Nano. I already knew about I Am Mastery Academy. I saw Nano go from a Platinum 2000 to a Chairman 10 celebrated in London. I saw it. I saw him in Thailand with the Tigers. I was like, man, I got to reach out to this individual. I want to be just like you, bro. I want to know the information that you know. And guess what? He didn't reach out to me. I reached out. He didn't reach back out, but it's okay. Because they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? And guess what? I was ready. I wasn't ready when I started my business, but I was ready here. God had to take away everything to rebuild everything back again. And I knew that this time, the 24 hours when I got started here in I Am Mastery Academy, I knew that I wasn't going to climb this second mountain that I'm climbing right now in this business. These last 3 years, it's not going to be the same mountain that I climbed the first time when I started my business. Because when I started this journey, guys, I'm going to be honest, I made a decision. I committed now and I figured it out later as I went. And as I came here into this journey, guys, I've been able now, you know, to be a full-time trader. I've been, and this didn't happen 6 months. This didn't happen 7 months. This actually happened 8 months. Myself being in this business, I went to my first event, March 14, 2021, March Madness. And when I went to this first event, they say that events recreate the experience for you. And that event recreated the experience for me. And I went to this event. I made a decision that event. I decided to go on tour with Nano and Natalia for a 6 months tour. I decided to invest back into myself. I committed now, figured out later. It was the best decision I made because I've been able now, you know, 2.5 years in this game now, about to hit 3 years here in August, to travel all over the world, to share my story in front of hundreds and thousands of people. Been able to travel all over the US, 6 different countries in the last 3-4 months. I've been able to go to Amsterdam, Europe, Netherlands, London, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and many more countries that are loading up. And I'm here to tell you guys that all I did was these 6 things. I made a decision, right? I asked the right questions when I first got started here. And this is not even part of the training yet. I'm just sharing my story with you guys so you guys know who I am, that I'm just like you. I asked the right questions. I forgave myself. That was the biggest blessing that I did. I forgave myself for the old things, the missing layups, the missing dunks, the missing opportunities, the missing shots. And I want you guys here on this call to forgive yourself today. Forgive yourself. You're here right now in the present moment. You have the right place, right time with the right people. I buried my old life to start this new life, guys. So I needed to forgive. Then guess what? The next thing I've been doing, I've been preparing myself. I've been organizing myself for all the blessings to come in. And guess what? I've been trusting God's timing. I've been trusting the right timing. And right now is the right time. If the right timing is for you right now, drop it right now in the chat box, right? And guess the next thing that I did, guys? I connected with my creator. I signed the contract with him. I built an amazing relationship with my creator. And I'm here to tell you guys, build that relationship with your creator. Make that commitment with him. And then just don't make that commitment just to be, oh God, thank you. Make that commitment and walk with him day in and day out. I made that commitment. There's 3 days in life and there's 3 days in business. First day in life was when you guys are born. The second day in life is when you actually figure out why you're living. And the third day in life is when you actually make that commitment to live to the life that you decided that you figure out that you lived. It's the same thing here in this business, guys. The first day you get started, The second day where you decide to go all in and you figure out your why and why you're doing this business. And guess what? The third day is you committed to that. And that's what I figured out here. I committed to this life. I committed to lose myself serving others. I committed to that. And guess what I've been doing? Just taking action. No matter, I don't need no flowers. I don't need nothing. I just take action. Action. And the last thing I'm going to tell you guys here before I get started with the training is have fun with it. You got to have fun with this, family. This is fun. You see this right here? I love this. I'm here in Arizona right now. I'm in one of my business partners' office, and I love this. I have fun with this. This is fun. Fun. You got to have fun with this, right? And I needed to bring you guys here within this journey because, you know, you can get motivated. You can motivate a person with words. See, I can motivate you with words, but I could inspire you by the action that I have taken. And you could tell them how I did it. And I'm here going to tell you guys how you could share your story here today. That's what's going to get called the education. Like I told you, I'm very, very, very intentional with everything that I do. That's why I wanted to see these cameras on, and I see in the cameras, and I'm seeing you guys locked in with me, right? Because guys, look, the only way that I could teach you is by me showing you exactly what I did, right? So I'm here to give you guys the tips. I'm here to give you guys everything that you guys need. So you guys could go out there and be able to present your story. Who's excited, right? Drop some 777s in the chat box because this is what we're making this year, 7+ figures, right? If you're ready and you're excited to know how to master your story, okay? Because here today, I'm going to give you guys this, okay? I'm going to give you guys this. I made a fire PowerPoint for every single one of you guys. I took time. I called a couple of my students. I was like, man, let me know what you think about this, right? Let me know what you think about this. So here, I'm going to give you guys how to master your story, because I don't only believe this, but I see every single one of you guys here in this gallery, that every single one of you guys is up next. So everybody say, I'm up next in the chat box, right? Like I said, I want you guys to be here with me, right? Be here intentionally, be here, participate. So drop I'm next in the chat box, right? Because you guys are next. And the only way that you guys are going to master your story is if you guys know the art of mastering your story, okay? If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, this is my Instagram right here. You guys could tag me and let's get it, right? So the art of mastering your story, okay? This is one of my favorite quotes. Shout out to my brother, Maja Angelo. You know, I've learned that people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Am I right? Drop them right in the chat box, right? Because guys, look, facts tell, but stories sell. Now, I want you guys to really understand this with me. There's a difference between introducing yourself and also telling your story, all right? And I want to elaborate on this, right? Because it's very, very important for you guys to understand this. Introducing yourself is one thing. Telling your story is another thing, okay? And I'm going to go here in a factor of how you actually tell your story. And there's 4 ways. If you're taking notes, take this down, right? There's 4 ways that you guys can be able to share your story. There's 4 different types of stories, okay? And number 1 is your story. You guys just heard me say my story, right? And I'm going to give you guys that right perspective on how you tell your story, okay? How you tell your story. And guess what? I'm going to give you that. Now, there's also people here on this call, and this was me as well, that you have an introduction story, that you have layers to yourself. Who's those? Drop a 2 in the chat box if that's you, right? That you have layers, that you're not ready yet to open up yet and share your story. Drop some 2s in the chat box. Guess what? I was there too. Shout out to my sister, Katie. Shout out to Nano. Because they have helped me within this journey for myself to forgive myself so I could be able to share my real story. And I'm going to give you guys that. How can you be able to share that story? And then I'm going to give you guys here the introduction. Like, how do you introduce yourself? And the next thing that I'm going to give you guys here is a story you tell yourself, because the story you tell yourself is very important. This is the secret to how I wake up every single day, right? Because the story I tell myself day in and day out, okay? So first, we're going to get started with your story, all right? And I'm going to go very into depth into this. You guys take a screenshot of this. This is a story that you guys need to have, right? I don't say need a lot, but this is a story that you need to have, right? And the number 1 thing is, what were you doing before I am found you, right? Before I am found me, I told you guys I had an addiction. I had an addiction with the lifestyle that I was living. I had an addiction with what I was doing. That was me. That was me. The party life, I was a club promoter. I was this, that was me, right? I've always thought that life was a party. But let people know when you guys, before I am found you, guess what? If you was an in-house dog, that's cool. Share that. But let them know if you was a wild dog, let them know that too. Because the only way that people can relate to you is by you telling them the real you. And guess what, guys? Let them know where were you mentally? Where were you spiritually? Where were you financially? 100%. Because remember, the only way that people are going to join your business is by this. They only join people that they trust, like, and respect. 100%. They trust, like, and respect. That's the only way that people are going to join your business. But let them know where you were before, mentally, spiritually, financially. Very, very important. Number 2, why did you say yes? Why did I say yes to this business? 100% with you. And this is recorded. I got on the phone with Natalia for 2.5 hours. I got on the phone with Nano for an hour before I got started in this business. And I let them know my why. I let them know the direction, what exactly I was going through. And you know what Nano said to me? He said, Manito, look, be here 18 months from now. Manito, look, if I ever lied to you, leave my business. And until this day, almost 3 years in, Nano hasn't lied to me. I've been here. He could tell you, we have lived together. We have cried together. We have traveled the world together. And I will never leave that man's side. And that's why I say yes to this business, because he didn't tell me what he was going through right now, but he told me where he was going. He told me to give this 18 months and see who the person I will become. He told me that, watch the chains that you're going to break, KD. Him and Natalia told me that since day one when I got started in this business. And I'm here to tell you guys, share that with your people, the people that you're talking to on a day-to-day basis, the phone calls that you guys hop on day in and day out. Share why you said yes. What was that conversation like? What was the day like when you signed up? What was it? Let them know what attracted you, because I'm gonna be honest. I'm so grateful that we have a mentor like Nano, because he teaches us the law of vibration. He teaches us the law of attraction. He teaches us the law of the universe. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. What attracted you to this life? How did you attract this to your life? You had to ask big to get attracted to this, right? To get attracted to this new wave, you had to ask big, because I'm here to tell you guys here on this call. This call is not only to just say your story, but this call is to really aware you guys of where you guys are at and where exactly we're going. 100%. 100%, guys. 100%. And that's what Nano told me. He told me where exactly we were going. And I was like, man, let's do it. That was that conversation like. And I feel like a lot of us don't share that with brand new students that are going to join on the business. A lot of us don't share that with the individuals that were prospecting, the potential students to join our business. Even the people that are in our business right now, talking to my leaders that have been here. A lot of you guys don't share this. Share this, because this is very important right here. Number 3, where are you currently at? And I don't mean about the success. You guys didn't hear me talk about the success, the money that I have made, the places I've been to. No, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, and don't let this one go over your head. A lot of my friends started reaching back out to me, not because of the money that I have made, but because of the progress that I have made in my life. Don't let that one go over your head, fam. Because look, a lot of my friends, they're all about the flashy things. But those that are my real friends, they have reached out to me, have joined my business, and have joined this journey because they have seen the progression I have made in my life. The relationship that I have with my mother, the relationship that I have with my father, the relationship that I have with my brothers and sisters, the relationships that I have with my peers, the relationship that I have with the people in my life, with my mentors. And I'm a big person on progression, guys. I am. I'm a big person in progression. I'm over progression, over perfection all the time. A lot of you guys want to make things look perfect all the time. Trust me. Something that shines is never gold. You don't want to be perfect. You don't want to be too perfect. This call, look, I have this PowerPoint, but I'm talking from my heart to you, because the only way that I could be able to guide you is by me meeting you exactly where you're at, right? Who's here is getting value on this call? Drop some value in the chat box for me. Let me see who's getting value off this call, right? Who's getting value on this call, man? Let me get some value in the chat box, right? Because guys, look, it's been a minute since I ran a call for the team, but I'm here to tell you guys that we together and we focusing on our progression moving forward instead of perfection, we're going to go far, guys. We're going to really, really impact hundreds and thousands of people. Drop a mission 5,000 in the chat box if you guys are ready to accomplish this mission 5,000 and keep it real, right? Let me get some 5,000s in the chat box because this is mission 5,000 I want. Mission 5,000, man. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Focus on this progression. This is a progression that we're all growing through right now. Progression, right? We have an amazing leadership table. This is why I said yes to I Am. This is why I said yes to Neno. This is why I said yes to Natalia. This is the leadership. That's what I fell in love with in this mission. And fall in love with the progress before being perfect. Nobody's perfect in this world. Nobody's perfect. Okay? Number 4 is, where do you see yourself going? Drop another mission 5,000 in the chat box real quick, because we got to speak life into the future, guys. We need to speak life into the future. Mission 5,000, you can go to my Instagram right now. You see, I'm man of God. Guess what? I'm on a mission 500 right now. Mission 500, everywhere I'm at, all I see is 500. We got to speak life into the future. Speak life into the future, guys. I'm telling you right now, you got to speak life into the future. This mission 5,000, we're just going to accomplish it, but we got to speak life into it now. The people that you guys are speaking to, speak life into where exactly you guys are going. Speak life into the future. Where exactly you're going. Doesn't matter where you're at right now. Doesn't matter. But where exactly you're going to go. Where exactly you're going. Because remember, people enjoy people's business because of what? They like, respect you, and trust you. Like, respect you, and trust you, family. Okay? Awesome. Let's go. Now, where should you share this story? This story, you share it on the Y circles. This story, you share it with your team. This story, you share it when you opening up calls. This story, you share it at live events, informational calls, panels. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Cancun, I see everybody here P1000 and above. I don't see no P150s, right? I don't see, no, actually, let me take that back. I see Chairman 100s and above here. I see all 77 plus of you guys are here on this call, Chairman 1000 plus. That's what I see in Cancun, right? So you got to be able to share this in panels when you guys get called up. You guys got to share this when you're invited. You share this story when you're invited. Remember what I said in the beginning. There's introduction and there's your story, okay? Stay with me, right? This is the story you share when you're invited to share your story, okay? Guess what? What's next? This is the introduction story. Who here feels that they're not ready to share that story yet? Drop a 1 in the chat box for me, right? You could be real. You could be real with me, right? I wasn't ready to share my story. I wasn't because I needed to heal. I needed to bury my old life to start this new life. And guess what? It's okay. It's okay if you're not. And even if you didn't drop a 1 in the chat box, yo, sis, yo, bro, it's cool. It's cool because I was there, right? And this is the story that you share. You share the background. What is your name? What is your age? Where are you from? What did you do before this business? Work, school, etc. What's that little rock bottom moment? What is it? Why did you join this business? Experiences so far, accomplishments so far. What is your vision, short-term and long-term? And you know what I'm going to tell you? A lot of you guys are looking at me like, what? Yeah, it is like that. But you know what I'm going to tell you? It's okay. Because this is big word time. Everybody say time in the chat box for me. Time, right? This is big word time. And you know what time is? Things I must experience. There's a lot of you guys right now that need to go experience things. That you need to go experience things. And one of my favorite quotes is that life is not only just a passing of time, but it's a collection of experiences. You guys need to go to more events. You guys need to go to Cancun. You guys need to go to Croatia. You guys need to go on all these events, entrepreneurship events. You guys need to go to these lock-ins. You need experiences. One of the most beautiful things happened yesterday here in Arizona. Shout out to Darwin and Gustavo for this. We had an amazing conversation in Orlando. We had an amazing conversation in Europe. And I told them, I was like, yo, bro, we gotta have something in Arizona. One of the most beautiful things, guys, that I've seen within my journey happen here yesterday. We have Tuesdays and Thursdays now, workshops. Take notes if you're here on this call. Doesn't matter what city you're in. You could do coffee meetups with your team, with people that are interested in your business, with leaders that are in your business. Do these meetups, because these meetups give you things that you must experience, give you breakthroughs. These meetups, you're like, man, this is real. Yesterday, we had a meetup. There was about 15 new potential students at this meetup. And the most beautiful thing happened. This is what happens when you're intentional about things. Everybody just came like this together. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have meetup, guys. And I don't want to change here the subject, but guys, go experience these things. Go meet people that are in your city. Some of you guys are in the same state and haven't even met yet. Go meet these people, because these are the things that you're going to experience. This is how your story is going to change. Trust me on this one. All right? That's number two. Number three, introducing yourself. And I want you guys to participate on this one, because this is time where we introduce ourselves, right, within this story. What is the questions we always get asked when we first go meet people? When we go first and prospect people, what's the questions? Drop them in the chat box, right? What is the questions that people ask you when you first go meet them for the first time? What is your name? What do you do? How are you doing, right? And guess what? This is the moment where you guys don't say everything. This is the moment where you actually introduce yourself. This is for my individuals that are here in the next wave, ready to hit that next level and become Chairman 150s, Chairman 600s, Chairman 1000s, Chairman's 2000s. Guess what, guys? This is the story. This is how you introduce yourself, right? This is how I introduce myself, guys, right here. I introduce myself by this. I am partnered with a digital entrepreneurship academy that focuses on leadership, Web3, mindset, trading, investing, e-commerce. It all depends what I'm feeling that day, right? But this is my pitch. This is my 30-second pitch. And guess what people are going to do? Wow, you're partnered up with it? Wait, what? What's that? I never heard that before, right? But this is how I introduce myself to people. Hey, so what do you do? But I let them ask me, what do I do? I am partnered with a digital entrepreneurship academy that focuses on leadership and focuses on trading, man. I'm partnered up with a digital entrepreneurship academy that focuses on leadership and mindset. Wait, what? Yes. This is the story when I'm introducing myself. This is not the story that I give them, that I just gave you guys to give them. This is the story where you just introduce yourself. You know what happens? Hey, man, tell me more about this. Hey, bro. Yo, hold up. Tell me more about this. Hey, man, look, I can't tell you much right now, but what's your number, man? What's your Instagram? Let's connect. And then when I get them on a Zoom call, I actually share my story with them, and they're like, yo, hold up. Wait, this is you? Yeah, man. I've been doing this for the last 2.5 years. Traveling the world, impacting hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, man, this is what I do. It's what I love to do. And they're like, wow. Does this make sense? This is the story you guys introduce yourself. There's a lot of us that are introducing ourselves and we're spending 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes when it's only supposed to be 30 seconds. This is the story I share in every single elevator that I get into. Shout out to Nano for the 3 feet rule, right? 3 feet rule. You're 3 feet from me. Ooh, you're getting smoked. Somehow, some way, I'm going to get your contact. Somehow, some way, you're going to know about what I do. Very, very important, this keynote. Take a screenshot of this, guys. Take a screenshot of this. Who's drawing in my whiteboard? Right? Take a screenshot of this. Rewrite this. Put it in your own words. Make it look cute. But this is your 30 seconds right here. Drop some fire in the chat box if this was fire right here, right? It's fire, trust me. I go out and I go out and I meet people all the time. And I don't tell them my whole story. I let my Instagram do the whole story. And I let my Zoom calls do all the stories, guys. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. This is number 3. Number 4, big shout out to our mentor. I'm giving him a lot of credit on this call. But this is him right here. If it wasn't for him and if it wasn't for Katie, shout out to Katie as well, right? If it wasn't for him and if it wasn't for Katie, guys, the story that I tell myself. Guys, what's the story you tell yourself every single day when you wake up? What's the story you tell yourself throughout the day? What is it? What is that story? Please tell me, what is it? Because a lot of us haven't told us the right story yet. That's why we feel like we're complacent where we're at. 100%. That's why a lot of you guys are comfortable right now where you're at. Ooh, I'm speaking to some of y'all. Right? I'm speaking to some of y'all. But yes, what is the story you're telling yourself? This is the most important story. Guys, look, Nano reminded me of this September here in Arizona, where I actually went on stage and, I got the crowd lit. I smashed the rank of Platinum 2000. And, the story that I was telling myself, Nano sent me down 90 days prior to that. And he told me, he's like, bro, what is the story you're telling yourself? And I'm like, bro, I don't even got a story. You see, we do things every single day. We show up, we do our morning routines. We do what we got to do every single day. We do our DMOs. But sometimes the little key thing that you're missing is just that story you're telling yourself. And I remember in August, I had 2 Platinum 1000s in my business leave. They went and did other things, people, they become what they want to become and then they leave, and it's okay. Not everyone that starts this race is going to finish with you, right? And it really hurt me because it was a moment that I was super, super close to smashing my rank. And I was looking at the rank instead of what I was doing and what was the story I was telling myself. And guess what happened at that moment? At that moment, I needed to do things a little bit different. And this is the story of the fly, right? You just got to go and turn your head at least 3 feet or 1 inch and just walk a different direction and do things a little bit just different. And guess what, guys? I just needed to write a different story to myself. The story that I'm living right now, I wrote the story in August. And guys, look, I rewrote a whole different story in Europe. Because time, I gave myself time. And the story that I was giving to myself, I'm living it right now. Thank you. Praise to God. Right? I'm living this story right now. But what is the story you are telling yourself? Everything that I said I was going to do, I did it. Everything. I don't even know how I was going to go to Europe, but God got me there because the story is in my journal. It's the story. But what is the story you're telling yourself? And this is the art of you mastering your story. Right now, don't focus on the present moment, what's going on in your life, but focus on the inner moment that you're having and exactly where you're going. Because when you focus on the inner moment and you write that story to yourself every day, you read it every single day, and you have your goal card and you're reading your goal cards every single day. I got my goal cards with me. Look, got my goal cards with me. It's like almost breaking. I got to go do another one. But hey, that's the story every single day. I write my goals down 50, 100 times a day. But this is the story I'm telling myself. I'm reprogramming in my mind. It's not happening right now, but I know it's going to happen. But what is the story you're telling yourself, sis? What is the story you're telling yourself, bro? What is it? What is it? What is that story? What is that story? And this is what you guys need to do right now. What is the story you're telling yourself? What is the story that you're introducing yourself when you're going out and prospecting? Right now, you may have that story that you're like, oh man, I have this powerful story, but I don't know how to say it. I got this powerful story, but I'm not even grounding myself right now to go share it with the world. Guess what? I have a 6-step story for you. It's okay. I was there too. But then what is that story where you're just gonna boom? Because facts tell, but stories sell, family. Facts tell, but stories sell, right? Facts tell, but stories sell. And guess what? I can't leave you guys here just with all these breakthroughs. If you're getting a breakthrough, drop a breakthrough in the chat box for me, right? Drop a breakthrough, drop some fire in the chat box if this call is really it. Sheesh, right? Because I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling you guys' energy. I'm feeling this fire, right? And I'm excited to see what we're gonna do next. But I want every single one of you guys here to do me a favor, right? Nano told me, KD, you gotta drop the gems. But yo, I'm gonna go on and beyond, my brother, right? And we're going to do this the right way because I know that everybody here has a story. And I know that everybody here deserves your story and your voice to be heard. And guess what we're going to do, right? We're going to do this together, okay? We're going to do this together. And I'm going to give you guys a week to accomplish this, okay? I'm going to give you guys a week to accomplish this. Yesterday, we hopped on a leadership call. And ooh, just be ready for the schedule that's going to get dropped for all the new leaders to speak to every single one of you guys. But guys, look. This is the assignment that I have for you. I want every single one of you guys that's here on this call, 74 plus of you guys, to write down your story, okay? Write down your story, guys. If you took screenshots of this, if you didn't, it's okay. I'm going to post this on YouTube so you have the recording. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Guys, write down your story, please, okay? Write down your story, all right? I want you to share your story in the New Wave chat and also on your team chat. I'm going to do the same thing too. I want you to share your story. Your story only needs to be 2 to 3 minutes. It doesn't need to be an hour. 2 to 3 minutes, share your story. But write it down first with the steps, how you're going to share it, and share it with the team. Next, I want you guys to share your story either on the reel. I want you to share your story on Instagram, and I want you guys to tag me in it. Because you have a voice, and I want your voice to get heard. The more that I started sharing my story, the more that more people started to really actually follow me. Oh, wow, that's KD. Oh, shoot. Okay. Bet. You have a voice. Let's go out and share that voice, guys. Let's go out and share that voice. So tag me on social media. The third thing that we're going to do is every single one of you guys, I want you to reach out to your leader. I want you to reach out to your coach. I don't mean Nano, right? I mean your leader. The individual that introduced you here to this business, the leader of your organization. Leaders always have opportunity calls. Leaders always have team calls. Leaders always have leadership calls like this. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to reach out to them. One of the assignments is for you to open up a call and share your story. Another one of those assignments is for you to share your story on an IG Live with your leader. Guys, I do IG Lives every single day. And I'm always collabing, letting people, their voice get heard. I did an IG Live with my brother Carlos. I'm doing one today with my sister Sienna. Go share your voice. Go share your story, guys. Or even here in this group chat. You know what we're going to do? You don't even have to reach out to your coach. You're going to reach out to individually of each other. And you're going to do an IG Live together. And guess what you guys are going to do? You're going to share your story. Because the only way that you're going to get your name out there and the only way we're going to work together is if you share your story. Who agrees to this? Drop an agree in the chat box. I'm going to take a screenshot of who drop agree that they're going to do this assignment and going to tag me on Instagram. I'm going to take a screenshot of all you guys that dropped this right now, right? And I'm going to hold you guys accountable because the only way that we're going to receive this breakthrough and accept it and go to the next level is if we take the action steps to go do it. If we don't take no action step, you wasted 40 minutes here on this call for no reason. 100% with you, right? 100% with you. I really, really, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to every single one of you guys. I got a little gift for you guys. You want to keep up with me day in and day out, take a screenshot of this, click the link, right? I drop my affirmations every single day. I drop my calls, everything that I do, my IG Lives. This upcoming week, I'm going to be doing IG Lives every single day. I'm going to be dropping a lot of value, a lot of content that I've been working with. This is my Telegram right here. You guys can keep track of it. Take a screenshot of it. I also just created an ebook, you know, with the skill sets that I've been able to learn within the last 2.5 years within this platform, everything that I have learned. That's the ebook link right there. You guys can have it. And guys, I really want to thank every single one of you guys for your time, for your energy, for everything that you guys are here. And I really, really appreciate every single one of you guys. I'm excited to see all of you guys in Cancun. Sheesh, I'm so excited to see you guys and share those moments, share the breakthroughs. And not only just that, guys, but I'm excited to take things to the next level, go out there and accomplish mission 5,000 1,000. I'm excited to get my brother Nano to Chairman 100 this year and see and celebrate every single one of you guys. And not only just that, guys, but look, we're ready to receive our breakthrough, and we're only going to do this the right way. Post this on Instagram, post this on YouTube. I love you guys. Let me know your feedback in the chat box. Let me know what you guys received here on this call. And not only just that, guys, but reach out to me. I'm here, a phone call, text away, and I'm ready to hit that next level with every single one of you guys. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. God bless you all. Let's get it. Shalom.
Let's go. I don't know what you're going through, but we stopped by to tell you that what's in front of you is bigger than what's behind you. Your destiny, your promise, your future. You might as well shout before you get it, because God sent me here to tell you that what he has for you is gonna be big.